There's a story we want to take a closer look at, and it involves everyone's favorite leather jacket wearing CEO. Span and NVIDIA are developing a decentralized AI infrastructure model that turns residential neighborhoods into distributed data centers using small XFRA compute nodes installed into backyards. The system aggregates unused home electrical capacity to create virtual data center networks that can scale AI workloads without large industrial facilities. Early pilots with homebuilders aim to test whether this approach can reduce infrastructure costs and speed up AI deployment while offering financial incentives to homeowners. Al, I'm going to let you start here. Do you think that this idea is going to work?
Well, my first instinct is this sounds stupid. So probably it will. So the idea here is instead of centralized computing in some big data center that has to be built today and is going to be massive and it's going to be noisy and it's going to be a blight on the landscape, we'll take little units that look like your existing air conditioning outside units, your condenser units, and we'll stuff them full of NVIDIA liquid-cooled GPUs, and we'll make up in volume, build out maybe 8,000 of these things to provide the capability of a 100 megawatt data center. Okay, sounds fun. So where's the 100 megawatt increase in power demand going to be fulfilled from? Because at the moment, they're talking about saying that the power infrastructure around our homes is run at maybe 60% utilization. So there's another 40% we can steal. The thing is that takes away all of the resilience in the network. When you start loading it up really high, the network becomes much less resilient. And I'm sure that the United States doesn't have any kind of infrastructure resilience problems with its power network at the moment. Maybe this is just not actually removing the problem, but decentralizing it. One of the interesting elements around this is the idea that the actual homeowner where this thing's being placed is no longer going to pay their own power bill nor their own internet bill. Because, of course, these units will need to be networked somehow, and that'll be over your home internet connection, and they'll need to be powered. And so somebody's got to pay for that power. And that maybe there'll be a small fee from this operating company, or maybe there won't be a fee at all. So essentially, this new consortium is going to give you free power and free internet in return for having this thing on your lawn. Yeah, this to me very much feels like a way of paying NIMBYs, paying people who say, I don't want a data center in my backyard, only I'm going to have one literally in my own backyard. How well will it scale? Well, will it scale to having 8,000 of these things in a small enough area that the networking between them is sufficiently low latency and high throughput that they can really build a cluster out of them? Because distributed computing becomes really problematic when you have slow or high latency connections between the compute nodes. And that's essentially what we're doing here. We're building a distributed data center across these 8,000 homeowners locations. And then what happens when I sell my house and the next person buys it? Where's the relationship to this organization? Do they need to come and take away this outdoor unit that's running their part of their data center and take it away because the incoming new owner says, I don't want that? There'll be all kinds of complexities around managing that changes of people. I think this is going to be unsuccessful, and it'll work at small scale, but not at large scale. They're proof out with 100 homes with this new builder, the Pulte Group, building out a proof of concept with 100 homes. That'll probably work okay, but I can't see this working across an entire city. How about you, Tom? Would you want this in your backyard?
I mean, that's literally the problem we're dealing with right now with the data centers. It's called NIMBY, and it literally stands for not in my backyard. Except what you're saying is we want this in my backyard. You brought up a lot of excellent reasons why this is a terrible idea. Let me hit with a few more. Are you going to be able to run these things in the summer? Because that's when the U.S. power grid is at its most stressed. If you think about all of the places in the U.S. where the temperatures spike to 85 or 90 degrees Fahrenheit, and you start seeing things being run across the TV like you need to cut down on your air conditioner usage because you're overloading the power grid. That happens all the time. And that's with power grids that stay up. Check you out, Texas. Are you going to be able to run them in the winter? Check you out, Texas. Your power grid goes down anytime the temperature hits 30 degrees. So there's your problem with power. There's no spare power capacity. On paper there is, but that's only just kind of waiting there. And if you use that spare capacity, you're going to drive power prices up through the roof. I live in Oklahoma. OG&E is looking for an excuse to raise our power rates. Don't give them one. Now, let's talk about that thing sitting in the backyard. Hey, you going to build these in Texas or Arizona or New Mexico or Southern California where the temperatures routinely spike to over 100 degrees? I don't think so. You're going to have to cool them somehow. How are you going to do that? You're going to build your own little AC unit out there? There goes the power cost. They're going to go through the roof. You don't think the people are going to be mad that the AC running on that GPU cluster is better than the one in their house? Because you ain't just going to use a regular window unit. Oh, you're probably going to need a water cool them then. Are you going to pay the customers for their water? Are you going to force them to only be installed in places that have access to city water and not, the water from a well or something like that? Have you seen some of the city water in the United States? Do you want to build one of these things in Flint? Because I certainly don't want you to build it there. And you're talking about all of these things that you're going to just drop in people's backyards and pretend like they're not going to mess with them. I know for a fact people don't take care of the stuff they have. Just go to TikTok and watch videos of people cleaning the air conditioner condensers that sit outside of their house. These people aren't going to care. They're going to let it collect dust and garbage and get peed on by the dogs that run around the backyard and get hit by kids' baseballs, and then it's going to break. And then you know what's going to happen? You're going to have to send somebody out to do a truck roll to fix this stupid thing. Yeah, that's going to be really expensive, guys. Look, on paper, I get it. Nobody wants to build a new data center anywhere in their area because they realize that it is an eyesore. It's even less useful than an Amazon distribution warehouse. And that's saying a lot because there's no jobs and there's no products coming out of it. So what are you going to do instead? Let's distribute the problem to people's neighborhoods. Yeah, you should probably get on Nextdoor and ask some questions of the local neighborhoods, because I promise you, not a single person is going to want this. Not a single HOA is going to approve this. And not only are you guys back to square one, not having built this out, you look dumber for having tried to do it in the first place. But I could be wrong. Maybe there's a line of people waiting at the door to get paid $100 a month to run a mini data center in their backyard. And next month it'll be $200. So who knows?